Hello. Gonna wait for a couple people to join here and also our guests. Today is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. We are back here for another episode of Bricks and Beyond, a creator showcase series. For those of you that are joining for the first time, Bricks and Beyond is a showcase series that highlights members of the LEGO community. Each episode of the series provides a personalized look into the person or multiple people behind the account. Today's guests join me from the Washington, D.C. area. They are a husband and wife combo, Lego lovers, and business owners. You may know them on Instagram as Bricks and Brews or Bricks and Trips, but I'm going to introduce them to you as Josh and Carl. Everybody who joins us tonight. Hello, how are you guys?
Hey, we're good. How are you?
Good, good. Just enjoying the cold weather that we chatted about yesterday.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's snowing here right now.
Did you guys get any snow accumulations or just cold?
Just cold and some flurries. Nothing significant.
Yep.
Well, I didn't get the power outage that I was expecting.
That's good.
But I was plowing snow before I joined, and I wanted to make sure I got that done before I got to talk to you guys, so I didn't have to worry about getting outside after. Um, so what's the plans for the weekend? I believe you have an event coming up.
Yeah, we've actually had two this weekend.
Oh, two. Oh, I missed
Yeah,
missed the second one. Okay.
yeah, no worries. So the second one is actually on MLK Junior Day since
Okay.
schools are out.
Oh, that's right.
As well.
Okay.
So yeah, Saturday and Monday coming up.
Okay. So we'll get into those because obviously that's part of Bricks and Brews, but we want to get into you guys first. So my first question for you here is just something let me adjust my camera here. We talked a little bit yesterday, as I like to do with everybody, and I know you mentioned that you guys have two kids. So my biggest question is because we do the Lego events and all this other kind of stuff, but you guys are doing it kind of in a different like adult capacity. So what do the kids get to do while you guys are out doing fun Lego stuff?
Actually, the kids come with us mostly.
Oh, do they really? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. They usually have some sort of job. So
Okay.
with some of our events, they sit at the table and help people make minifigures.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
tends to be their main job that they tend to be the best at. We don't really give them access to money or checking people in yet, but
Yes.
usually they help people build minifigs, and then we, for our events, bring huge bins of bulk Lego,
Oh, nice.
and then
Okay.
just sit there and play
Oh,
with that for the rest of the.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure like some of the places you go. Obviously, you're a special attraction, so I assume they would give you, a little bit of leeway with the kids, knowing you're not gonna give them something you shouldn't.
For sure. For sure.
So
Yeah.
I was just curious. It was something that when I realized you guys were doing the events, I was like, I have trouble struggling with my son what to do with him because he loves Lego, but like when it gets to a certain point we're like, okay, I'm bored. I want to do something else. Like, I don't want to listen to you talk. And so, I get it. So
Yeah.
you combat that with the bulk
Yeah,
Lego and just kind of let them.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
I mean, we do bring an iPad every now and then to amuse them.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you guys have a purpose of where you are. So, you got to do what you got to do. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I get it. All right, so you guys, since I have two of you tonight, we're going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to give each of you your own little chance to shine. So it's going to be the same questions you're going to answer, but obviously you guys have two different stories to share. So I'll let you do your however you do it in your normal lives. Get the pick. Who goes first?
Well, I mean, you go first.
Okay.
No, what a gentleman.
I know. I was sitting there like, what? Okay.
I mean, we all have those chats, when you're picking dinner or something else, who always gets to decide. So, uh, all right. So, Carly, we're going to go back and start with you as a kid. Now, and we're just going to act like nobody knows anything about you. Obviously, there might be some that watch this that do, but let's pretend nobody knows anything about your childhood.
Okay.
So, first of all, where, and again, you don't have to give specifics, but did you grow up in the DC area, or where are you kind of from?
Yeah, I grew up in the DC area. I actually have a DC birth certificate. Originally lived
Okay.
in Maryland,
Okay.
and now I live in Virginia. And sadly, my parents live like 15 minutes down the road.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we sadly didn't go too far. But yeah,
Yeah.
been
No, no.
DC area my whole life.
Now, are they still living in your childhood home, or
Yes,
have
they
they?
still live in my
Oh,
childhood.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So you get to relive your memories.
Essentially, I mean, they've definitely changed a lot of things since then. But yes,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. Now, did you have any siblings?
I did. I had a younger. Yeah, I have a younger sister. She's like
Okay.
3 years old. So.
Okay. So obviously, I couldn't imagine that you would be where you are now without having Lego in your life as a child. So I'm going to assume you did. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes, my sister and I had, obviously, then there were not as many, we'll say, female-driven girly
Mhm.
sets. So we honestly owned a lot of city sets. We had some
Okay.
boats and some planes, and some fire trucks and that type of stuff too. But we did have a few things that they deemed girly back then. So like some horses and some little girls. And then one of our biggest sets was we had a Bellevue set and then some of the little Bellevue
Yep.
add-ons. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. I always like looking at some of those like random ones where it seemed like Lego was trying to, rival with maybe, I don't know,
Yes.
Barbie or something like that. And they're
Oh,
interesting
for
to say the least.
sure. The,
And
the
you
figures were very wonky looking.
yeah, yeah. And you don't really come across many of those. So, I've always been curious, like how much of that stuff was actually produced. Because, you see these bulk lots on Marketplace all the time, and you see Friends and City and all that kind of stuff. But you don't really see the Bellevue. You don't see Fabuland stuff much. So I don't know if it just wasn't made in bulk like stuff now, which I would assume it probably wasn't. But then again, that stuff is collector's items now, so maybe people just haven't moved it. So, which we will get into that in a second here because I know you have something. uh, so, other than the bulk brick and that, so you did tell me that somebody decided to keep all of your childhood Lego.
Yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, we do have two boys. They're 10 and 8. So when we go over to my parents' house, my parents still have all of the Lego from when my sister and I grew
okay,
up. Luckily, it doesn't seem to have lost any of its stuckness.
sure, yeah.
So they do enjoy playing with it. Definitely gotten a few complaints sometimes from my boys that there's too much girly stuff, but other than that, they do enjoy being able to still play with Lego when they go to their house.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a nice perk to have grandparents that have an enjoyable thing there
Yeah.
because sometimes it's hard to get kids to go to a grandparent. So if they have Lego, I mean, who wouldn't go?
Yeah.
Now was so your sister? How many years younger was
Yeah,
she?
she's 3 years younger than me.
Okay, and so obviously she was involved with the Lego with you. Now, did that continue for her, or did it kind of die off for her?
I would say she still enjoys building some things.
Okay.
She doesn't really have a collection or anything like that. But when we got together around Thanksgiving, every family member actually made their own gingerbread
Oh, nice.
house, which was our
Nice.
December
Yep.
build
Yep.
for
Okay.
everybody built a gingerbread house, and she did build it. I will say she sped ahead and did her own little thing, and she does enjoy it. But she was like, "Okay, now I'm done. Here it is back." I would also say she has a pretty small house,
Okay.
so she doesn't really have this
Yeah.
space to store a bunch of Lego things. But she loves building it. She just doesn't want to keep it after the fact.
Well, hey, I mean, that could be a perk for you guys,
Yeah,
buy them as gifts and she doesn't
I
want
mean,
them.
yeah, I definitely think that happened once. I think I got her that Lego penguin, and she built it, and
Okay.
then she was like, "Here you go, I'm done." And I was like, "Okay." So,
I wasn't really sure where you were going there with the holiday thing. I thought you were going to say you guys were playing with your Belleville stuff or something as a family.
no, but that would be amusing. But
All right. So then, so you did, at a certain age, you went through Dark Ages
yes,
period, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, So, do you remember when you got back into Lego and maybe why you got back into Lego?
Yeah, I would say our kids obviously started having a few sets when we had them. It was a lot of that, like, they did obviously a lot of Duplo, and then it was a lot of those like 4+ sets. And then during 2020, when we sat down and all watched Lego Masters as a family, that's really when we were like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the thing. I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing. And then I would go online at night to Lego and I would just order bulk Lego. And I had no idea what I was doing. Obviously, I think one point I was like, I'm just going to order a bunch of 2x4s in gray and like sand green or dark green. I can't remember, sand green or dark green.
Color choices.
And then like a bunch of like door frames and doors, and it like all came in a bag. And I was like, what is this? What was I going to think I was going to build? Like a bunker or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was super excited the fact that you could just order whatever pieces you wanted. So
Yeah.
that happened in 2020.
There's an idea for you. Bricks and Brews bunker
Yes,
builds.
exactly. Like just build a bunker out of a random bag of Lego.
That's funny.
Here's
All
a
right. So
hundred two
then,
by fours.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
literally.
Hey, you never know. Some people like different things.
Yes.
All right. So then, what would you say when you got back into Lego? What would you say? I know you really are into the mock building, but do you
Yeah.
have a particular set that you would say would have been like your favorite set when you came back into
Yeah.
building?
I would have to say there's a few sets that I really do enjoy, but probably the one I enjoyed building the most was the Hocus Pocus set.
Okay.
I
Yep.
absolutely love that movie, and it was so great to build it and see all little parts of it that, connected to the
Sure.
movie. So that one is definitely my favorite. It is packed away right now in our Halloween stuff, just
Oh,
because
well. Okay. Yep.
we do have so much Lego that I was like, I can't leave this out all the time. But yes, I do enjoy bringing it back out
Yeah.
every Halloween.
Yeah, for sure. Now, did you do? I know people like to do especially like Lord of the Rings. They like to do the Lord of the Ring marathons and build like Rivendell or something. Did you do that with Hocus Pocus? Watch the movie
Yeah, I
and
definitely
build?
think I did. Obviously there is a number two, not as great as number one, but
The seconds never
yeah, I
are.
definitely think I watched number one while building it.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Now again, we'll get to the mock building stuff because I know that's your preference.
Yes.
But in building sets, do you have any sets that you would say are a favorite theme of set, and then in the same anything you tend to stay away from?
Yeah, I guess I would say I don't really have a favorite theme. I really like the ideas sets in
Mhm.
general. Like,
Okay,
yeah, like somebody came up with it and it's super cool and it's something that relates back to my childhood or something like that. Like I have the Winnie the Pooh set. I also have the Back to the Future set. So
okay.
things like that I'm like, oh, this is nostalgic and I really like it. Any themes that I would stray away from, this is gonna sound bad, but my kids bought a ton of those Mario sets, and those are a
Oh,
disaster. They never stay together. It literally is just a bunch of junk thrown in a drawer.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like I did think the QR code idea was really cool, but I just
Mhm.
wish they had come up with a way to keep it all together better.
Uh, yeah, the other thing about those, when you hear Mario talking at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like,
yeah,
I'm not playing with that. Who's
yeah.
playing with this?
Yeah.
Uh,
The
yeah, and
latest
then
the latest download on that has ChatGPT installed.
Oh
So.
yeah,
wouldn't that be something? And there's a thing like I guess the thing about those Mario sets too is when there's just like so many mini builds, and this is on
Mhm.
anything, like even the Winter Village stuff. You
Yeah,
have the nice main build, but then there's so much like extras, and it's just
yeah.
Clutter.
nothing.
Yeah, clutter.
Exactly, yeah, nothing attaches to anything, and then it makes it really hard to know what
Hmm.
to do with it. So
Yeah, I'm
I get
sitting here
that
staring
completely.
at two advent calendars. They're the same way, you know. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My son builds them all, and then we basically take them apart and use the pieces. I
Yeah,
mean,
yep,
that's
yeah.
that's it.
It's like, okay,
Or
what do you
they
do with
or
this
they end
now?
up in a drawer. That's
Yeah.
it.
yeah, yeah,
A lot of those city sets do that too. It's like here's your truck, and then here's the little tiny building on fire, and then here's your
yeah.
little like fire set. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it not all one thing? Like, what do you do with this?
Oh man, we're on the same page for that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, more cohesion. That's what we need.
Yes. Yes. I like it when it's all
All
one
right,
thing.
I'm the same with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, Josh, let's get into your turn.
Okay.
So, we're going to go through the same questions. Let everybody get to know you here. So, are you born and raised DC or are you somewhere
No, I
else?
actually was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, okay. All right. So, how's that compared to where you live now?
I would say it's hard to compare because it's, at least in the DC area, we have seasons,
Yeah.
right? I mean, in Georgia, it's basically summer, and then you have like winter, but it's really fall,
Okay.
like, and I mean, I saw snow like 3 times growing up, I think, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I've really enjoyed being in an area that is not quite so humid and has seasons.
I agree. Yeah, I always wanted to live in the South just for that, but it seems like, especially this year, the cold has found its way
It has,
down south. So
yeah,
you might have been getting some of that snow because I mean, I think even Florida has been down into the 30s and whatnot. Um, so does your so do you have any siblings, first of all?
yep. I have one sister.
Okay. And now is your family still in Atlanta area
No, they're
or
they're still in Georgia, but they're
okay.
actually in like the Savannah area now.
Now is that farther south?
It is. Yep, it's
Okay.
further south and east, so it's almost on the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. Ah, that sounds much more enjoyable.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I'm a beach kind of guy, so to me that's my kind of thing, but it is what it is, you know. All right, so again, being in this position, unless Carly forced it on you, I'm assuming you had I'm assuming you grew up with Lego as well.
I did. Yeah. I was born in the early 80s, so, a lot of the stuff that's coming back around now that they are making uh redesigns of sets of Blacktron,
Yep.
Mtron, like the legacy space stuff, Knights,
Castle.
Castle,
Oh
Pirates.
yeah.
That was what I did
Yeah.
growing up,
Yep.
right?
Now, I believe when I asked you if you were lucky enough to have any of your favorite sets growing up, we did not have as nice of an answer.
No, of course. I mean, I think it's a lot of people's story.
Yep.
You go to college and your parents throw out your stuff or give it away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gave it away. I
Yeah.
yep,
think your mom said she gave it away.
she did.
I was gonna say she either made a couple bucks or some kid really lucked out, and
She
now
made
they're
any bucks.
well.
Nope.
Hey, just think that kid that got it for free probably made a couple grand off of what you had.
That's probably true.
Yep,
Probably true.
for sure.
Isn't it crazy though? Like some of the things that you had, and like some people either kept stuff in box and then 20 years later they have mint inbox
Yep.
stuff, or they had, I think those are the scenarios. You kept it and kept it in a box and get to resell it,
Mm.
or you kept it and it was basically like bulk and so you're scrambling to find pieces,
Yep.
or mom and dad gave it away.
That's
There's
it.
no other scenarios.
No.
All right, so then your was your sister involved with Lego at all,
No,
or
she didn't really do Lego. It was very much like my thing
okay.
at the time, right?
Okay.
It was kind of my thing to do alone,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Now, I'm assuming as a typical young boy, like we like to make our castle stations and our pirate stations and all that. She didn't have any interest in coming and like the Lego Movie too. She didn't have any interest in doing anything
No,
like that.
no, no. Luckily, I think we were kind of at a standoff at that point, right?
Okay,
So,
well, good because Lego Movie 2 gave me some scary feelings when I talk about siblings.
yeah, for sure.
For sure.
All right, so then I know you mentioned a couple of things that you have, but what would you say one of your favorite sets was out of what you had
As a
as a
as
kid?
a kid,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was mostly like the Blacktron ships.
Okay.
Those were just very modern at the time, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the first
Yeah.
time they had made a line in almost all black,
Yeah.
and it just looked so much sleeker because nothing There was no tiles really back then much.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So everything was
Yep.
covered in studs, and black made it look much smoother.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I like the neon yellow. Like
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
really makes it stand out. And when you put that up to the classic stuff, it's like, do I want this nice black, which is like a vibrant
Yeah.
black with the
Yep.
yellow, or do I just want this gray ship? Yeah.
Right. What
So
else? What else can I build with red and yellow 2x2s?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it.
Uh, uh, So again, Dark Ages for
Mm-hmm.
you, and then you came out of it. Now, I'm gonna bring. I have a couple other individual questions for you, but I'm gonna bring Carly into this. So the Dark Ages ended when you were together,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we'll get back to that. All right. So Dark Ages ended. So for you, what was your favorite set upon return?
I have to say probably two. Like from a nostalgia perspective, with the ideas line, um, the Home Alone house.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yep.
yeah, the amount of detail and just the fact of all the booby traps
Oh yeah.
working and things like that are just awesome.
Yep.
And then I would say the first like true adult set that I got for Christmas from Carly one year, and it was the Treehouse, and
Oh
that
yeah.
was where
Yep.
I started to think differently about
Okay.
Lego and started thinking about just some of the techniques that I was seeing there that I'd never seen
Sure.
before, and all the things that I realized you could
Yeah.
do with it.
Now, I'm an owner of the treehouse as well, so I'm going to ask you a question because it seems like this is the intent by every treehouse owner.
I do not
Were you?
change the leaves.
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
Oh no, we actually had in our Lego room an entire.
Oh, geez, I'm giving you thumbs, or you're giving thumbs down.
Oh, how did that happen?
I didn't mean to do that. I'll
Yeah.
give you a thumbs up now.
Yeah. Weird.
Motion detection, interesting.
Yeah, yep. Oh, I've learned there's fireworks, there's rain, there's thumbs up, and there's balloons.
Oh.
So
Okay.
if you do different hand motions, you'll
Cool.
get different stuff. So, yeah. So I think this is the fireworks.
Okay. Oh, this.
No,
That was
maybe
a
not. I don't. Whatever.
Yeah.
It worked the other night.
Funny.
Yeah. So the intent is to change the leaves on the
Never.
treehouse.
Not once.
No, I said the exact same thing when I bought. I said, I'm going to have my fall leaves, my winter snow leaves, my summer leaves. But see, my problem is, and I don't know if you have this problem with stuff like that, is when you build a set, like I feel like mine has to look like the set.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Yep.
leaves have to be every single way the directions
Yes.
tell me
Yeah.
that they should be
Yes.
fixed.
Yes.
And
Which is so funny as mock builders. I still feel that way.
yeah, yeah,
Feel like, no, someone made this set,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
need to follow the instructions. It needs to be identical.
yeah.
I'd be more likely these days to just buy like 3 of that set
They,
and put 2 away and
Yes.
have 1 out. I'd rather do that than take all those leaves off and put them all back on.
yeah, I agree
It's
with you.
really those branch pieces. That's the part that
Well,
makes it too hard.
what's unfortunate about that set is it is very brittle. So if you do bump something the wrong
Yeah.
way, it's not worth trying to change leaves. So I think you're right. Let's buy 3 of them, and then we can have the 3 separate ones.
There you go. How about you buy 2 and I'll keep mine, and you do yours in white and orange and yellow, and then we'll just swap them back and forth.
I'll cut it in half, and you guys can get half of it, and I'll take
There you go.
Well, see, there's an
like
idea.
it. Yeah.
literally an idea.
Yeah.
So same question for you with the themes. Do you have? I know you said ideas, so you would say that's your favorite theme of sets you like to build.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's certainly like the fan aspect of it, and the fact that a Lego fan mock builder,
Yep.
Had the idea, and I just love that concept.
Yep.
But I also think that because of the number of submissions they get, you get such a wider range of ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Again, not to use ideas again, but
Yeah.
Yep. It just I feel like you get more pop culture kind of stuff through there as well, and that's kind of our jam.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Yeah, I would agree. Ideas is just, I mean, they hit it out of the park 99% of the time. I can't even imagine having to be the ones that are responsible for picking. And I know some of it has to
Right.
do with the IPs and all that, so you can't, it makes it harder. But like, I would feel so awful to reject somebody because, like, most of that stuff on there, your average person would never come close to being able to build.
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
and you guys have a different appreciation for it as well, I'm sure, because of what you
Yeah.
do. So, um, all right. So that's the stories for each of you.
Yeah.
So now we're up to more current future here. So we have the kids. They started with the Lego stuff. And that's what brought you guys both back into Lego.
Yeah.
So before we get into the Bricks and Brews stuff, I have a couple random off the wall questions for you. Not too off the wall. But interestingly enough, where did you guys meet?
uh, we,
Oh, this is fun. I was on a date with another guy, and Josh was an acquaintance of that guy.
Okay.
So we met at a bar in DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
And he just was Prince Charming, and he was so good, he swept the other guy right out the room.
Well, we'll say at the end of the night, I tried to give him my phone number, and he's like, no, 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 no. And I was like, what? And he's like, I'll find you. And I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
okay. But thanks to social media, he did find me on Facebook. So there you go.
Josh, were those the exact words? I'll find you.
Yeah.
It sounds creepy now, looking back on it. I mean, it was like 2 in the morning in Adams Morgan in DC. So
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so probably not that creepy at 2 o'clock in the morning in DC.
Yeah.
or creepier.
Wow. Yeah, maybe. Hey, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt though. So,
Appreciate
so because you guys are in the Lego, did either of you have any like apprehension to be like, hey, or wait, well, so you didn't have any Lego at that point? It literally
No.
was at the
We
okay.
had the kid. We had the
Yeah,
kids
no.
stuff.
Yeah, but no, when we met, no, we didn't have any.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. When we
okay.
met, no.
No.
Bummer.
We did not bring any Lego into the relationship.
No.
Bummer. I was really hoping that one of you like maybe was apprehensive about bringing it up, and then that like okay, but that's right. It was the kids that brought that up. So okay.
That would have been a nice meet cute though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, hey, think of it this way: what you guys are doing now, you could be bringing some people together. So
You know
you
what?
never know. So
We hope so.
Yeah.
and maybe you can get your license to become what's that? Is officiant? Is that what they call it? An
Oh
officiant?
yeah.
And then you can be you can do.
There you go.
Yeah. That's not on our service offering yet.
Yes.
Yet. Yeah.
No thanks.
All right. So I actually learned something today about you guys. I did not know about the Bricks and Trips account that you guys had.
Yes.
That when you brought it up, I did not know that. I never come across it for some reason. I guess that's just the algorithm, working the way it does.
Yeah.
Even though I've followed you guys for I can't even tell you how long it's been now. So can you just give us like a little background on because I think that was the first account between the two.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it actually used to be called something else. We originally called ourselves Legoland Herndon was our original name for that account. But we changed it to Bricks and Trips just to try to get the name Lego out of use. But yeah, I mean, it really started with. I mean, it took us a while to make an Instagram account. We talked about it for a long time, but we mostly were just like randomly building things that we liked, and like we would take pictures of it for a while, and then we let it kind of live in the house for a while, and then we take it apart. And then I think it finally took us going to a brick fair to realize that people like built mocks and like display. And I was like, what? This is a thing? I was like, I had no idea. Like we were just completely oblivious, just sitting around building our own stuff, and had no idea that people did that.
And then
so the first
the
first competition that we did was a competition called Bricks by the Lake.
Okay.
And it's in Lake Ann in Reston, Virginia.
Okay.
And we actually took our son's idea of building our neighborhood community pool.
Oh, cool.
During a swim meet.
Okay.
So we built that. It was on 2 gray base plates, so not tiny. And we took it there. And the guy who's actually a good friend of ours now in our lug was like, never come back here.
He was like, yeah, you guys shouldn't be in this like little, competition situation.
So that was fun, but that's how we met the people from Charm City Lug,
Okay.
which we're members now.
Nice.
And that was kind of our introduction to competition with Lego.
Okay.
And I think we got a taste
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what I was going to say is when that all opened, then you look down on the ground, you see that giant rabbit hole just getting bigger and bigger.
Yep. And it just
And
got
now you're down
worse.
as far as you can go.
Yes. I mean, worse. It just was like, oh, like this is a room that's like half regular toys and half Lego. And now this is a room that is mostly Lego.
Yeah.
And now let's move this entire room to a different room and have more Lego. Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. It bleeds throughout the house
Yes.
Yeah.
rather quickly.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, botanicals are very nice decorations for bathrooms.
There you go.
Nice.
I mean, you could put those anywhere.
You can, yeah. And so that was one of the ways I was like, where can we put this? I said, oh, the bathroom looks boring. Toss some Lego flowers in there. There you go. Brightens the day up. So,
I like it. Yeah.
so before I go on, I'm just really curious. So what is behind you? Are
Oh.
those minifigures?
Josh made
Yeah,
this.
so I made this minifigure
Okay.
shelf. And this is probably 75% of the like unique put together minifigures we have.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what we do is we put one of each minifigure that we can find and put back together on this, and then any duplicates and stuff we let the kids play with.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I will also say like there's probably more than this, but that would mean like finding all the pieces and putting them all together and having children. They're like, today's Spider-Man is going to be like half Iron Man, but also like, you know, a little bit of Harry Potter. So, and that's what it's like being with kids. You're like, cool, now this minifigure that might have been this much is destroyed.
So I'm sure you guys have had your stories of, maybe a little bit more expensive ones, getting taken apart or whatnot. I had a buddy of mine who I actually do some of my lives with, and his son got his hands on his Cloud City Boba Fett and gone.
Ooh.
Yep. That's
No, that's like that hurts.
yep. You know.
So yeah,
It hurts the wallet too.
yeah. Yeah, and it's you never want to get mad at your kids. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like as a parent, you never want to get mad at your kids, but there's just some things where it's just like, oh, if you only knew, there goes college right out the door.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
You only knew.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So the bricks and trips, did that have any impact on the creation of Bricks and Brews, or kind of separate things?
It was kind of separate, but they happened very close together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we changed our name from Legoland Herndon to Bricks and Trips after Brick Fair Virginia this last year.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So like, yes, we changed it like September of this year.
Okay.
So one of our builds, Beyond the Brick, took a video of and put up, and it started to get some attention.
Okay.
And we decided at that point it was time to probably get rid of the Legoland in our name. So
yeah.
But
yeah, I so when I started my Lego club, I was trying to print. I was coming up with names, same thing, and have Lego in it. And I was asking, the guy who was making some stickers for me, and he said, "All I'm going to tell you is when you use a name like that, is you use it until they send you the cease and desist, and then you stop doing what you're doing."
Yep.
I was like, "Well, I'm not even going to get that far." So
Yeah, for sure. So
I don't want any problems, and obviously, you guys would not need any those kind of issues. So.
Yes.
Okay, so now for the big topic here.
Yes.
So the account you guys are on, Bricks and Brews. So obviously, you guys have something brewing down in the DC area. Been waiting to use that all night.
There you go. It's a good one.
All right. So can you just kind of give us just like a background on where the whole concept came from and how you put it into play?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So basically, I made a friend with a guy, a beer. What do they call them? They don't call them bartenders, but the guys that actually work the taps at a brewery.
Yeah, that's a good.
Is it
Is it bar master? Is there a bar master? Is that maybe it or something?
I don't know.
I think it's a beer tender, maybe.
Or,
I don't know.
oh, okay. Well, yeah, whatever. Master beer
Anyway,
maker. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yes. And we just started talking about Lego, and he was like, "Well, you guys do something pretty cool. Have you ever thought about like doing it at places?" And then the idea kind of just jumped off from there, and it started out. We were just going to do it at this one place, Dynasty Brewing in Ashburn, Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was the kind of thing where we designed something, we put it up online, and sold that event out and got really good reception.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And since that first event, we've done zero marketing or outreach to breweries.
Sure.
It's all been coming to us.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been very cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we've only done the same place once so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say,
11 different breweries.
after he talked with his buddy, he came back and he was like, "Okay, great. We're going to do this in October. Here's the date." I can't remember what it was. And I was like,
"Oh,
what?"
I booked it on the spot.
And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, and I just like, I have a graphic design background, but I was like, we need a logo. We need a website. We need to figure out where we're going to post this. Like, we have to make flyers. Like, I just like went off the handle, and I was like, I can't believe that you chose to do this at this date. So we kind of got thrown into it really fast, but I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
We got a website. We got a logo. It all worked.
Jeez, Carly, I feel bad. I said that I was picking on you earlier, saying you made Josh. I think, geez, Josh, look what you did to her. All that stress you put on her.
Yeah, it was a little nutty. I mean, I'm so glad that we did it though, and it has been amazing.
So then the first, can you remind me what month was the first event that you had?
It was October.
So we had like a small haunted house.
That's right.
Build.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, as part of like your the planning process before, so not talking about the build yet, we'll get into that, but before you did your first event, what kind of went into how you guys envisioned like what you were going to offer to people?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a lot of trial and error. I would say we built some things. We talked to some other Lego people. We built something, and here we go. We'll go back to my sister. And I went to my sister and said, "Would you pay money to build this at a brewery?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Crap." And so we went back to the drawing board, and I was like, "All right, something else." And I was like, "Okay, what if it's a haunted house?" And I was like, "And what if you could customize your haunted house?" So that was the biggest thing, is I was like, we have to relate this back to, it's kind of like a paint and sip, right?
Yep.
But the great thing about a paint and sip is that you can customize it. Yours doesn't have to be the same as your neighbors. And so that was one of the main things too. It's like, okay, we're going to do this, but also we wanted to make it a little bit more customizable, where it doesn't have to look exactly like the person next to you.
Yep. All right. So then for the events, so obviously part of or not part of the event is that you guys you have a special kit that you put together. And that kit, how long do the kits typically go for? Is it like a month or 2 months?
1 month. Yeah, we have a new build every month.
Yeah.
Okay.
New build every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can you give me like a background on, I guess step one would be where you come up with the ideas for these builds, and then how do you make them come to life?
Yeah, I would say a lot of them so far have been builds that I've come up with, or like I come up with it. I'm like, "What do you think of this?" And he's like, No. And then we kind of smash it and do it.
Yep.
Mostly our builds have done with the season. So October we did a haunted house, and then for fall we did some buildings and like a park bench and kind of a tree that had fall colors. And then obviously December we did a gingerbread house, so that was very holiday themed. January we did a like kind of a log cabin. So I don't know where these ideas come up. It's kind of just like, it's like, okay, this is the month. This is what's going on in that month. What could we build?
And what can we build that most people can relate to, right?
Yeah.
Like we're trying to stay away from
Belleville.
Right. Or the expected themes for Lego, right? Like make it someone. I know that over the last couple of weeks, I've been asking, who is here building their first Lego set ever? And we've had
Okay.
people raise their hands several times. And
Yeah.
like you were saying, it's like maybe you're that guy, Afel, who has a girlfriend or spouse or husband or boyfriend that, you know, has never
Sure.
built Lego,
Yeah.
but loves craft beer.
Yeah.
I can get them to the brewery, and then
Right.
maybe I can get them hooked on Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have some of our regulars coming up to us now that say this, they're like, I brought a friend last time, and now they won't stop texting me Lego sets.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's like now they like Lego because I brought a friend. Or yeah, I know. It's been amazing. I mean, we've had groups that it's like, you know, three sisters or like a dad and his two like grown sons, you know.
Okay.
It's been really interesting to see who comes out.
there was a
Yeah.
family Saturday that was 3 generations.
Oh, that's cool.
Grandparents visiting that had never made a set
Okay.
before,
Yeah.
and the mom and the grandson
Yeah.
all building together,
Oh, that's
and it was very
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I would say I'm a people person, so I think that would be number one for me is just getting to see all the varieties and types and interactions between
Yeah.
people. It's just people are people, and you never know what you're going to get out of them. So.
For sure.
And then you toss some beer in there too, and that's.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go look back because I know I saw your haunted house and I know I saw the gingerbread, but I
Yeah.
don't remember seeing the November one. So I'll have to go look back because I don't remember seeing that for some reason.
Yeah.
So now with the builds themselves, so you just literally sit there and build, or do you use like Studio or anything like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
I'd
started
say-
over the last few months using Studio much more.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Sure.
first two we totally were like, we're just gonna build it outright.
Okay.
The hardest thing about building it outright is then taking it back apart again and
Mm.
realizing what parts you use.
Mm-hmm.
So we found that it's easier to do it with Studio. The hard thing sometimes we realize with Studio though is you make it in Studio, and then when you make it in real life, you're like, that's not actually possible.
Oh, yeah.
Studio, let me do that. so it's definitely been some editing. And then sometimes we're like, okay, we used way too many different parts, which Lego does
Sure.
this too, right? Like we
Oh,
used
yeah.
way too many different parts. How can we reduce the number of parts?
Yeah.
Like change it up so it's
Yep.
not as not-
And even things like if we were going to use 1x4s and 2x4s in a build,
Okay.
yeah.
right? It's more cost effective sometimes for us to buy 3 times as many 1x4s than have 2 different SKUs.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So those are the kind of things that we're considering now that we've never had to consider before.
Mhm.
And obviously, you know, with the way that things work with Lego, they don't offer a discount to businesses or anything like that, right? So we're paying, you know, the going rate
Yeah.
per piece.
Yeah.
So the number of pieces that we are going to use and the cost of those pieces is much more important to us now than
Sure.
it ever was before.
Yeah. Like when you're building your own thing, you're like, sure, I'll order like 60 of this. And now you're like, okay, so we need 1,000 of this piece or 2,000 of this piece. It's definitely a little shocking sometimes how much we're ordering.
I mean, I would say on average per month since we started this, we're ordering 70,000 Lego a month, something like that.
Now, are you Lego.com or Bricklink or combo? Both?
Combo.
Yeah, it's definitely
Okay.
a combo. It all depends upon who's cheaper or
Yeah.
who has
And,
what.
and speed and reliability, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if we need it fast, like within the next week,
Mhm.
and it's on Lego, we'll usually use Lego just
Sure.
because it's more reliable.
All right. And if you're a Lego person, you gotta get those VIP points.
I was gonna say, man, how many stinking VIP points do you guys? You're gonna buy the store for free?
mean,
Holy cow!
Well, so
we used a lot of them over Christmas, I will
Yeah.
say. I was like, we can get this and this and this and this, like
Yeah.
you know, in that, you know, look at all these weird things you can get, like magnets and journals and weird stuff like that.
They make good stocking stuffers.
There you
Oh,
go.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can just imagine. I mean, you guys would be that group that's coming out of the Lego store with like 10 of the big bags, and it's like, how much do they pay for that? And you're just like, nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a benefit for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
We
Oh,
also
for sure.
we also end up with a lot of gifts with purchase.
Yeah.
Because one thing we found out that as long as you hit the minimum for the gift with purchase and with the way that Lego packages their bulk bricks, it
Okay.
actually
Yep.
behooves you to only have one or two of a certain kind of piece
Yep.
per order.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because then it'll be in separate bags or easier to sort.
Yep.
So we break it up that way and we end up with 10 or 12, gift with purchases.
Right. So,
So
like,
in other words,
Lego
what
boxes on the porch. Yeah.
I was, so to say, so in other words, if I miss a month, I know who to come to that
Yes.
has gift
Yes.
purchases.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes.
Or
Do
come
pretty well.
or come to an event because we give them away sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes we get
Well,
yeah.
well, that is on my radar. Like I told you guys, I do have family down there, so
Yeah.
I'm hoping when we do come down, I'm definitely gonna make sure my wife plans it because it's her
Yeah.
family. Make sure she plans it on a weekend where there is an event. That's for sure.
For sure.
All right, so how long would you say? How long is the planning phase of each set to get it perfected to where it's ready to buy the parts?
I'd say we're getting more ahead of it,
Okay,
right? We're giving ourselves more runway.
sure.
So like we've already got designs for February and March done now.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we're starting to get better at planning it. Obviously, October being the only one we ever thought we would do
Yeah.
to November to December, there was definitely a little bit of panic in there.
It was
Oh,
only
yeah.
before December. I was like, oh my gosh, did not realize Thanksgiving was this close to December. Like, we are
Yeah.
screwed. Like, what are we going to do? Yeah. So, but we're definitely trying to work ahead of time now. It's like, okay, we can't do, so we try to get it out at least a month ahead of time. I think it's
Okay.
taking us 2 to 3 weeks to design something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that's still. I mean, I know you guys aren't doing like massive castles, but that's a really quick turnaround for what you guys make because
Yeah, for sure.
that you just don't know. Like I don't know what a Lego designer takes, like even to make the gift with purchases. I mean, they're
Sure.
not big, but I'm sure it still takes time. So
Yeah.
for you guys to come up with this stuff in 2 3 weeks, like that's
Right. And then,
kudos to
yeah,
you.
we
So
have to think about
No, thank
costs
you.
too. I mean, Lego does a great job of putting all those little cutesy details and stuff like that. And I'm like, sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you can get the cutesy details as an extra thing, but in
Yeah.
order to keep our costs down, a lot of our buildings have been empty. It's just
Yeah,
like,
no, hey, I
yeah,
mean, as you said, there obviously are new builders there, but like if you're giving somebody the structure, like they can do
yeah,
with it
Yeah,
what they
exactly.
please when they get home.
yeah.
Yep. Now, so for the sets, will you guys recycle them and keep them the same, like 12 each year, or are you gonna differentiate throughout the years?
We're gonna have to see how it continues to go, but
Okay.
our vision would be that we're never repeating.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be honest, for us, it's like, okay, we built this thing. This is all the pieces that we needed.
Mhm.
Like we made all these kits, we taught it, and now I'm like, okay, done.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. Like I had a great time doing it, but I really don't want to bring it back
Yeah.
again. Like I would love to do something different. Yeah, I'm like, all right, done. Like, yeah.
I get it. I get it. Yeah. Okay. So, you sent me. I'll show that in a minute. What the kits
Yeah.
look like, not made,
Yeah.
and then we'll get to what they look like. But you also were kind enough to send me your notes that you used for the
You're a
event.
disaster.
Give me some detail on this because, whew, man. So lay out an event for us, start us from when people come in, and just kind of lay out the time span for each event.
Yeah. So usually people check in. We say, please, you can check in 30 minutes ahead of time. But sometimes we literally are getting people like the moment we're starting or the moment we start talking.
Yep.
But people come in. I hand them their baggie, their kit. We also hand them like a bin. They're from Target. They're like $2.
Yep.
So I'm like here's your kit. Here's your bin so that your pieces don't fall over the floor. And then sometimes we have our items that you can pick from. So for like January, I'm like, please pick out your windows and your door to go with your cabin. And then we always have extra items for purchase. So it's usually like cutesy animals, or sometimes we've made things like fireplaces or rocking
nice.
chairs. And like during the holidays, we made Christmas trees
And menorahs.
and menorahs. We've also
Okay.
recently started adding in like 3D printed items. So we're like, hey, do you want one of those like large 3D printed flowers?
Oh, nice.
Lego
Okay.
flowers. So usually like I give them the spiel and then they go sit down, they get their one included drink or, whatever their beverage of choice is.
And you've actually got, when you open up your bag, there's a drink ticket in there.
Yeah. And
Fantastic.
So you can see it.
yeah.
Or did I take it out? I might have taken it out.
Oh, whatever. Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
still visit you regardless.
There you go. Yeah, they're usually a laminated card. They usually go get their drink and they sit down and, so I do tell people, I'm like, it'd be wise if you sorted your pieces, but there's a lot of people that don't do any sort of sorting. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, and then Josh usually does a spiel that talks about us.
So that gets into that gets into the script I sent you, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I basically have a script for every build.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I have a spiel that I now have memorized on the things that I need to say up front, right?
Sure.
First, who we are, what Bricks and Brews is,
Okay.
Talk a little bit about our history with Lego. And then I talk about like administrative stuff like this is your bartender, his name is this, restrooms are over there, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I get into, all right, how many of you have never built a Lego set before? And I apologize to the Yafels in the room. I do have to explain some of the basics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we talk through the basic pieces. We talk through how to understand Lego math.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
1x4, 2x4.
Yeah. And then literally after that, I talk them through step by step over the next 3 hours with a couple breaks how to build it.
Yeah.
And we walk around and show them piece by piece, step by step, how to put it together.
Yeah, so Josh is usually on a mic with a speaker and he's talking loud. And then he does walk around somewhat. And then I walk around during that and help people. I'm like, okay, you're behind. Like, let me help you a little bit. This is how you do it. Or, you put this piece in the wrong place. This is how you can fix it. That type of thing.
Up your game.
Yeah. Also, we hand count everything, so we make mistakes. So that's also one of my jobs is people will raise a hand if they're missing a piece, and I run over my little boxes and get them an extra piece.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you sent me that list, you mentioned that you would send your written instructions. I was like, okay, and I looked at it. And I was like, I can see how this. I mean, but it's good. What you've created. I mean, it's amazing. But I can see what you're saying. Like somebody who's like a really antsy person, like they just start messing with something. And they're just like, I just want to build this, and then which fine. You do you, but the interaction that you pull in, and then like you guys were talking about that it's not only a Lego event, but it's also a community building event. So getting people to interact with each other, and you're doing two good things and mixing them together.
We've actually heard some feedback too from brewery owners that say, that they appreciate the fact that we've thought through that it needs to be as beneficial for them as it is for us.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people come in there like if they're selling jewelry or doing paint and sip or something like that. They're like, sweet, I got a free venue. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm just gonna go.
Yeah.
But taking the breaks and things like that really help the business to see that we are benefiting them as well.
That's a good point. Yeah. Very well. Kudos to you guys again for thinking the stuff through and getting it where it benefits you guys, your guests, and the owners of the businesses. It's really a win-win for everybody from what I can see.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let me pull out. So this is the February bag. So when you guys go to an event, this is what you would get.
Yeah.
So you have a bag here, and it has all your pieces. Now, one of the things I wanted to highlight about these wonderful people here is they understand that when you have windows, we keep them separate from the other pieces.
I'm glad you appreciate that.
Yes. So windows are always in a little baggie, and we're super nice, and we pop all the glass into the windows for our customers. Sometimes
some of them are hard. There's some of the smaller windows. They're hard to pop in. So
they can definitely be hard to pop in. I was doing it the other day, and I was like, okay, put it on the table and just pop them in like this. Hopefully,
there've definitely been nights. This is probably getting too in there, but we'll be like in bed popping glass in windows, streaming something.
Yeah. Okay.
No, hey, trust me, I get you.
It's the hand cream.
Yeah.
Rough on.
Oh man, I tell you that your fingers, man, they can get raw real fast from messing with too many Lego pieces. So I understand. Okay, so this kit was the January build. So I believe you have January's build for people to see.
That? Yeah.
And you have a hinge back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it opens up in the back. And yeah.
Yep.
So our VIP package included a little fireplace and a rocking chair in the
So
back
that's
there.
so you guys sell like, so it's like a little accessory pack basically,
Yes.
that if you
Yeah,
wanted
like
to do
basically
that.
you
Okay.
can when you know what the VIP kit's going to include
Okay.
when you get your ticket, and you can
Yeah.
add it on as a addition in Eventbrite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. And then do you have December's gingerbread
Yes.
house?
Yes, I do. So this was December.
Yep. Sorry.
And so,
Love
yeah,
that.
so this was the gingerbread house, and we had a VIP package that included a gingerbread minifigure.
Okay.
And then in the back, it actually hinged open, and there's a few presents in this one, but yeah,
Oh,
it
nice.
hinged open.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was most of theirs was empty. We sold a few extras to put inside.
Okay.
We had like menorahs and Christmas trees and presents and little holiday tables. So, but yeah, this
You
was the
don't you
first
don't
time
have
we
that.
did
You
hinge
don't have the
open.
November one, do you?
Yeah, I do
That's
actually.
okay.
Do you
Give me
mind? Because I'm curious now, because it's the only one I didn't see. So
Yeah, yeah. We have the November one out. We don't have October here right now, but this was the November one. So
I
because we're in
don't
the
remember
DC
seeing
area,
it.
yeah, it was like we kind of did a park bench
Yeah.
that's traditional in the area, and just kind of some brownstone
Okay.
buildings behind it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Thanks.
So, I mean, obviously, between the 4 things that you've had so far, nothing looks similar. They're all
Yeah.
their own little build.
Most
So,
of them are traditionally on 16 by 16
okay.
plates. We found that size works pretty well for us. But yeah.
And
Nope.
it allows. So what we have had is quite a few people, and it's so humbling for
Mhm.
us. But there have been people that have been who have all of our builds so far,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
and their plan. And one of the things that they love is that you can see on here above the window, there's a little custom sticker that says Bricks and Brews
Yep.
in the month and
Yep.
year.
Yeah.
So we do that every month.
Okay.
And there are people that are like lining them up and displaying them
Oh, that's
together
cool.
that
Yeah.
want to do like the whole year, which is great.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah.
it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. See, that's commitment. That you have like your base of people now, and they're gonna have
Yeah.
their own
And
Bricks
it's
and
great to
Brews
see them
villages.
again too. I'm also like, okay, don't have to help them as much. They're gonna come by and have a chit chat, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really
Uh,
great to see all these people come
for
back again.
yeah, for sure. So, with that though, have you guys made your own sig figs yet?
We don't have like super specific ones
Okay.
yet. We've kind of made them with what we have on hand.
Yeah.
But we haven't like ordered like, I know some people are like, okay, I'm gonna order 100 of these and give them out. So we've definitely not done that
Sure.
yet. But
Yep.
we have our little family of 4 of sig figs
Okay.
that we use on our Bricks and Trips account.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we
Okay.
tend to post them sometimes more places.
I'm gonna grab
Gotcha.
some videos real quick because we also have this
Oh yeah. I
that,
made this.
that Carly made, graphic designer. So she made this
That's awesome.
of the 4.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Are those printed tiles or?
Yeah.
They are.
So
Yeah.
at one of the Brick Fair
Yeah.
events, you could upload your own tile and they'll print it for you. So that was
Ooh,
kind of fun.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, you guys you bring it from all aspects.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any sneak peeks of anything
Yeah.
coming up by any chance?
We could do that.
So yeah, we actually posted February today on Eventbrite. And so
Okay.
February is a little bit different because we are
Can
doing
you lift
what
it
Lego
up just a tad?
yeah, what Lego traditionally calls a make and take event. So this
Yep.
is
Okay.
going to be at a Bricks and Minifigs location. So
Okay.
sadly there will not be beer included, but instead we're gonna do a
Oh, that's
different
really cool
kind of brew. We're gonna do coffee and
Okay.
tea and kind of snack. And this one we are actually gonna be printing out paper instructions.
Okay.
Because Bricks and Minifigs is a smaller location and we can't do like a 40 people in a brewery type
Yeah.
thing.
Sure.
It's going to be a open house. Come in, get your kit, get your instructions, build it, hang out for a little while, leave, or shop around.
Gotcha. Well, I think that'll be a big hit because it's not like an overwhelming build for what you're trying to do, and it fits like that. Obviously, it's more than what the Lego store does for make and takes, but I think that's like right on par for I think what people would be pleased to do. So again, you guys knocking it out of the park. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that with us. All right, so before we wrap up, do you guys have any plans on doing any conventions this year, like as Bricks and Brews, or just as just as a family?
Yeah, I think Bricks and Trips is set up to head to Brick Fair,
Fredericksburg.
Yep. Okay.
at I think it's at the end of March. So we'll be there.
Okay.
We're hoping to actually build some sort of larger mock.
Nice.
Yes, we've kind of started, but haven't really gotten very far. So, we'll also have some of our older mocks from previous events. We were also just thinking of bringing all of our little Bricks and Brews ones and displaying those too. You know, and like I'll just be like, yeah, this is what we do. We're not actually allowed to advertise Bricks and Brews there, but yeah, with
unless we were a vendor, and I don't think we're there.
Yeah, I get you. Okay. So, and you said so that's the March. So I was thinking about myself. I know I am going to Brick World in Chicago, and I'm excited for that because that's like I've never been to anything that scale. But you guys, is that Brick Fair in March? Is that the same one where the one in August is held?
No. So the one in March is Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is further south.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in August they do it in Chantilly, which is a little closer to us. The Chantilly one is traditionally larger, but the Fredericksburg one is nice. There's a lot of different lugs there. It's a smaller atmosphere, but we still get a good amount of public that comes in to look at things.
That's good. Good. All right. So since this is your time to shine, if I didn't cover anything, if there's anything you want to share or anything you can plug your socials or upcoming events, feel free to plug away.
Yeah, I mean, please join us for February. We're super excited about it. It's definitely something different. We're only doing one event in February. It's just a short month, so but we are definitely excited. It's gonna be a little bit different, but please come and join.
Good. Well, I again, and I'll mention too. So your accounts, so it's bricks.n.brews, and then we have bricks.n.trip. So those are the two socials. I just like to put that since I do post these for recordings, and people who didn't get to watch, they can check both your accounts. And then I've also been asking people. I've thoroughly enjoyed both of you. I would love to check in with you guys down the road in 2025, see where you've been, see what you've been up to. And maybe I would have met you by some point in the summertime. So
for sure.
I'd love to do that if you guys are down for that at a later time.
Absolutely.
So, perfect. Well, then in that case, I do appreciate both of you taking the time to stop by tonight. And I will continue to follow your postings here and be envious that I can't make it to most of them. But maybe in the future I'll see you somewhere up this way. But you never know.
We hope to travel a little bit more in the future.
For sure. But yeah, thank you guys both again. I do appreciate it. And like I said, I'll have this posted so we can share it with everybody who wasn't able to make it. And then I will look forward to seeing you guys down in the future.
Sounds great.
All right. We really appreciate you reaching out. It was fun.
For sure. Yeah, I appreciate, and I am excited to build this kit, and I will have it post, and I will tag you guys, and then hopefully I followed your notes well enough without you. So.
If you need to call me, I can talk you through it.
Fair enough. You know what?
Long phone call.
Yeah.
Maybe I should maybe I'll set aside 3 hours, and you can just give me a one-on-one.
There you go. Yeah, I like it.
All right, guys. Well, hey, you have a good weekend. Good luck with both the events this weekend, and we'll talk to you guys again soon.
Okay.
All right, Keith.
All right, see everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, good night.
Thanks
Bye.
all.